Hola clase, buenos días y feliz lunes. Hoy es lunes el 24 de agosto del año 2020. Hoy vamos a reunirnos en Google Meets. So we are going to have our first Google Meets meeting today. That was supposed to happen on Friday. So I apologize that had to be postponed until today, but same times, and the link for those are in your class announcement. También vamos a escuchar y leer sobre una persona a quien la señorita Latinet admira. So you're going to listen to and read about a person that Miss Latinet admires. Y también van a escribir de una persona a quien admiras. And then you're going to write about a person that you admire. So just a reminder of your class times for Google Meets. Again, the link is in your announcements. First hour 8:30, second hour 9:15. And then just a quick review as to what we did last week that you need to have in your notebook. Make sure that you've been listening to all of my lessons each day that are recorded so that you never miss anything. But first thing you should have in your notebook is about me. So all these different questions that you answered all about yourself. And then here was my example. And then there was a video on Flipgrid for that. Same thing about mi familia or mis amigos. So you need to have written in your notebook answers to these questions about your family or friends. And if you need help with what these questions are asking or how to answer them, then refer back to last week, whatever day that we focused on this specific example or this specific topic. And then here's my example that may help. Also a review about hobbies and talents. There was, again, videos on Flipgrid for all of these of me explaining about myself, and then there was one about my family, and then there was one about my hobbies and talents. And then here's just a quick review of what I had said about my hobbies and my talents. And you should have also in your notebook written about your own hobbies and talents. Okay, moving on to today's topic, una persona que admiro, so a person that I admire. So just listen and you can read along and see what you understand about what I have to say about a person that I admire. And yes, this is me here. When I was a student at Belleville West, I received a Mighty Maroon Award, and you may or may not know who this is with me. Admiro mucho a la señora Washburn. Ella era mi maestra de español cuando yo era estudiante. Ella vive en New Baden, Illinois, pero trabaja en Belleville en la escuela Belleville West. Es muy simpática, trabajadora y divertida. La admiro porque es muy buena maestra de español y quiero ser como ella. So if we look at what I have to say here, I start with admiro, I admire. So I admire a lot, or I really admire Mrs. Washburn. Ella era. Era was a word that you learn in first year, meaning was or used to be. So she was or she used to be my Spanish teacher when I was a student. So I am a graduate of Belleville West, and Mrs. Washburn was my own teacher. She lives in New Baden, Illinois, so vive, referring to she, pero trabaja, she works. So notice our verbs are ending in an E and an A when referring to he or she. Trabaja en Belleville, en la escuela Belleville West, so she does work at West. Still to this day she does. Es muy simpática, trabajadora, y divertida, so she's very nice, hardworking, and fun. So these are all adjectives to describe what she's like. And notice that the N and A's for her being a female. La admiro. Here, admiro is the same word as admiro here. I admire her. La here means her. So I admire her because she is a very good Spanish teacher, and I want to be like her. So hopefully that you were able to read along and understand what I had to say about the person that I admire. And so now it is your turn. You're going to, in your notebook, answer the following questions about a person that you admire. So first question is, ¿Quién es una persona que admiras? Who is a person that you admire? And then you'll answer your question. Una persona que admiro, I admire, es, and then name the person. ¿Cómo es la persona? Menciona 3 descripciones particulares. So, how, it looks like how is the person, but it really means what is the person like? Describe them to me. So mention 3 particular descriptions or specific descriptions. So, donde vive, where he or she lives. I did mention that about Mrs. Washburn, where she lived. Está vivo o muerto. He or she is alive or dead. Perdón. So maybe you're describing someone who has passed away, like a grandparent, or maybe someone famous, maybe someone like Selena, who está muerta. ¿Cuántos años tiene? How old is he or she? ¿Cómo es la personalidad? What's his or her personality like? ¿Qué hace? What does he or she do? So here are some examples of how you could answer that. So the person's name is, and then describe blank e blank. So he or she is, and some adjectives. Vive en, followed by where they live. Tiene blank años, so however old they are. Le gusta, what does he or she like to do, or what are some of their interests? Y para terminar, to finish, ¿por qué lo admiras, or por qué la admiras mucho? Why do you, notice this ends in an S, because I'm asking, do you admire him or her? So lo would be him, la would be her, so masculine and feminine. Mucho, why do you admire him or her a lot? So if it's a guy you're talking about, you will respond with lo admiro mucho porque, so I admire him a lot because. But if it's a girl, you're going to say la admiro mucho porque, I admire her a lot because. And notice that I had said la admiro, I admire her, because Mrs. Washburn is a female. So you're going to keep this in your notebook, and this is the last thing that I believe I have on the agenda for you to complete in your notebook before we take all of these topics that we have been working on in our notebook the past week and do something with them to share with everybody. So, as always, I'm always available for you to reach out to via email or Google Hangouts. Let me know if you have any questions. And normally I would have a Flipgrid video of this, but Flipgrid has been having some issues, so I just decided to do it on here. Don't forget some reminders from last week. If you have not yet joined my Quizlet classroom, you need to. There was a Quizlet vocab review that was an assignment last week, and will also help warm your Spanish back up and review some important vocab from Spanish first year. Reminder that we had Flipgrid videos that were due last week, just as an intro to the class. And if you have not yet completed this student info form, I still need that. And if you have not yet watched my overview video going over your e-learning protocols, that is muy importante también. Y eso es todo. So that is all for today. Please reach out if you have any questions, and I hope to see you on our Google Meets hoy.